Jeff Fox, welcome to the program. As a landlord, you've had a lot of experience. You've owned properties since your early 20s, and you've managed properties yourself, and you've had property management companies work for you. What led you to start working with Harcourts Taupo Rentals?
I engaged them, got them on board to have a look at what their thoughts were around the couple of properties I had, and just got their input on what I should do in terms of the renovations, what I'd do to maximise the yields. They just take care of everything in terms of the inspections and the compliance.
If you were to speak to a young couple or someone starting out as a landlord, why would you recommend having a company like Harcourts Taupo Rentals look after their property instead of managing it themselves?
That's a really good question, and a lot of people think that they're saving money by doing it themselves, but depending on how busy you are as a landlord, if you've got another job as well, it takes a lot of time to do all the compliance works, healthy homes, all the insurance reports, and in terms of getting a professional in to do it, then you're passing that responsibility on. It's really, and I see it as an investment, not an expense. They're just taking all of the hassle away from you. And I know if you calculate 10% of your gross income for a year, it's like, oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. Have a bad experience, have a bad tenant, have to manage it all yourself during your day job, whilst you've got kids as well or whatever, and just go, oh, this is just too hard. And that's really where I was trying to do it myself, run another business as well. And it's just like, why aren't I paying somebody to do this and do it correctly, and they have all the responsibility versus me trying to do it?
What are Harcourts like in keeping you up to date with changes in legislation and your role as a landlord?
There's newsletters that come out from the business separate from you being a landlord. Obviously on a monthly basis there's monthly statements and bits and pieces. The inspection reports are really good. They're very transparent in that whatever report has been done, the landlord gets a copy and the tenant gets a copy. So if there's any comments about the landlord will do such and such, or the tenant needs to comply or do this, then it's all there for everybody to see and nothing's hidden. And it's good from a landlord's point of view to know, is there stuff that I'm not doing? Are the gardens a mess? Is the clothesline not working properly and it needs to be done? They can provide that service, or I can get somebody in myself to get things done. They're keeping you on your toes as well, but they're doing that in order to ensure that you're getting the best return for the investment in having them as a property manager.
How do you find the communication with Harcourts? How do Kim and the team keep you informed of what's going on, especially as all things happen? Sometimes things go wrong. What are they like at communicating in with you as a landlord?
Fantastic. Whether it's via email or a quick text or a phone call, and I can just reply and say I'll get back to you later. The turnaround time's really quick. If I'm emailing them about, hey, should I do this, or should I change things here, or on those lines, within 24 hours, if not hours, you're getting a response as to, hey, look, we've got this, we've already got the carpet guy in to have a look. Or so the communication's very fast, it's responsive, and it's appropriate for whatever the questions are.
You had to complete renovations on your property. How did Harcourts, Kim in particular, step in and help you with the challenges of that?
It was fantastic. It was just more around how much money to spend on the type of properties that they were, so that you're not overcapitalising, or, hey, look, if you considered this, you need to ensure that this is what tenants are after.
What type of cost savings do you think Harcourts helped you with?
The increased income generation has been great versus what I would have achieved had I not been advised and guided by the team at Harcourts.
You've been with Harcourts for quite some time. What has been the most valuable part of the service that they offer to you?
Just the overall all-round professionalism, their ability to have quick access to or getting responses in terms of, should I add a garage to this property, or what should I do now? There's good business sense behind the answers that they give you as well. It's not just their day job. They're coming in, they're doing an inspection, and they're out there looking at it from my point of view as an investor in terms of, hey Jeff, I wouldn't worry about spending that sort of money. So they have your best interest in heart, and of course that means it's better for their business as well.
How do Harcourts facilitate that process so that you can keep up with your day job?
They can be a one-stop shop, as in if they let me know that, hey, there's been a flood or something needs to go, do you want to organise it, or we can get our tradespeople there within the next few days, then there's those options there. And it's great that they've got their own team as well that can get into the properties and get things done ASAP.
Have you noticed a difference in the quality of tenants that are now occupying your properties, or has your rental return improved since starting work with Harcourts?
Oh, totally. I mean, I bought the property, it was different because it was owner occupied, plus it had a rental. The rent hadn't been changed for years prior to coming on board. Then we looked at it from a point of view of doing the contracting sort of market, the short-term rental. And so the rents have increased substantially from when I first took over or bought the property.
Now, you had another property manager, but you decided to go into the short-term rental market. And my understanding is that they weren't really keen on that type of work. But Harcourts Taupo Rentals stepped up to the task. How have they been helpful in making that approach successful?
Oh, just their all-round understanding of the market. That's what they do. They do holiday rentals, short-term letting, and long-term rentals. So they're able to look at the properties, or the couple of properties that I have, and just guide me on, hey, you'd be best doing X, Y, and Z versus. And they'd say if they didn't think it was suitable for the short-term market, they'd say, hey, look, you're better off cutting your losses and actually making this a long-term permanent rental now. But so by knowing or by doing all three areas, the holiday letting, the short-term contracting type market, and the long-term or permanent rentals, then they have a better understanding of all aspects of the market and how that market is changing from a monthly or annual basis and where it's heading based on what's going on in town.
Now, Harcourts Taupo Rentals is headed up by Lee Grigg. My understanding is he's very much a hands-on business owner. What have you found their approach? How's that helped you being in contact with the actual owner of the business?
Clearly just the professionalism and the advice that's provided by somebody who knows the rental markets well, has a great team of people working for Lee, and the monthly newsletters just come out in terms of where the statistics are, what's happening in the market. So you can change your strategy if you need to, or if you're contemplating doing something else, and there's lots of information available. And if you wanted to, you can email Lee directly and the team directly and just get really quick responses as to what you might want to do next with your portfolio, or hey, have you seen this property that's on the market, which is great. They're looking for properties if you're contemplating doing things, or they're just looking out for you and what's the best next move for you.
Now, there's going to be two types of landlords watching this interview. There'll be the first-time landlord who's still debating whether they should do it themselves or hire a property management company. And then there's going to be the long-term investor like yourself, but they are currently unhappy with their current property manager. If you were to speak to either of those people, why would you recommend the team from Harcourts Taupo Rentals?
Again, as I probably said at the beginning, for me it's a no-brainer to have a property manager involved, full stop, and not trying to do it for yourself. In terms of Harcourts, as I said, they take care of everything. Everything's done for you. They take all the compliance issues out of your own hands. The rental inspections are done every 3 months. The reports are fantastic. They're transparent. And again, they're very prompt with their communication in terms of if there's any issues or if there's anything I need to get on with. So in the time that they've been managing properties for me, I've never had an issue with any of the tenants. I've never had an issue with payment. And so there's not a lot else to say other than I'd recommend them 100%.